We've moved down a little bit into one of my very favorite places here at the dam. And this is the channel that was created when they built the dam. The old Ouachita River channel runs on the far bank, and this channel was created when they built Carpenter Dam, and they have the powerhouse here, and it's been carved out from the current due to the generation. And you can see there's a submerged island out here that you can't normally see later in the year. We're at a 3-foot drawdown in the wintertime. It's the very middle of, it's not the middle of February anymore, it's almost the end, it's the 25th. You can see the submerged island, and it separates the two channels. The old Ouachita River channel and this new channel that was created, as I said, by building Carpenter Dam. We've got trout that move up and down this channel constantly. Now we don't have any generation. We ran the turbines this morning when we shot our Rebel minnow trolling footage. But right now what we've got is slack water. So we've got a nice calm area, and we've got these fish moving up and down this channel. The cameraman and I have got them scoped out right here, and all we're doing is throwing right down in the middle of the channel with our Carolina rigs. And the water that we're fishing in is only about 4.5 to 5 foot deep. So it only takes a second for that sinker to go down. Of course, those eggs are floating up off the bottom, and the strikes are coming fast. And I wanted to show you that you can catch these fish with these Carolina rigs in current or in slack water like we talked about last week. The slack water is lots easier to fish, especially if you've got beginning fishermen in the boat, because they don't have to deal with the current, and there's a lot of movement all the time. The boat's always moving one way or the other. No wind right now. We've got slack water. We've got trout on both sides of the channel. The far channel over there is a lot harder to fish. It's got chunk rock in it. You stay hung up a lot in chunk rock. And this area on this side is mostly sand. Trout love a sandbar. So they're laying out here in this sand, moving up and down, taking advantage of the no current. It's hard on these fish to stay out here in this current all the time. It takes a lot of energy to swim around and hold position all the time. So normally when they turn those turbines off, you can really catch the fish up here because they're taking advantage of that opportunity to feed without having to fight that constant generation. So we're sitting here in this channel catching a bunch of fish. Everything's the same when you fish in the slack water with the Carolina rig. You got to keep your rod at a 10 o'clock position. You let them hit it the first time, and the second time, just like that, you want to drop the hook on him. Keep your rod tip up where you keep control of the fish. Unlike when you're fishing a crankbait, you want to keep that rod tip down. Keeping your rod tip up where you control the fish. Don't horse them in, just fight them. There's a better breed of fish in this channel. We're catching quite a bit bigger trout than we were downstream this morning. This is a nice fish. Caught so many smaller fish downriver today. And again, you know, the trout is played out. He's giving me his head. I'm going to pick him up and turn him upside down, and he'll completely stop flopping. Now here's an opportunity for us to do this. We're keeping a few fish today. Land the fish upside down and quit flopping. If you're going to put the fish in the ice chest, do the humane thing. The fish is going to suffocate in that ice chest. I've got a little piece of aluminum that I kill the fish with. 2 good licks in the head and he's dead. It's much more humane to kill the fish this way than it would be to throw him in the ice box over here and let him suffocate. We've got a garbage bag here full of trout that we've got iced down. And a frozen straight fish is much easier to deal with than a fish that has just been thrown in the ice chest and freezes at a funny angle. The fish are much easier to clean, and it's much more humane to just go ahead and kill the fish that way. You're going to kill him anyway, but why let him sit there and suffocate? So again, we're throwing right down the channel, and it really doesn't make that much difference in this channel where you throw. You don't have any problem really staying hung up, especially at this angle. But there's a better species of fish in here. I should say better quality fish. They're all the same species. And we're just letting our Carolina rig sit on the bottom without too much movement. Every once in a while, we'll lift that tip up and draw a strike. But we got so many fish in here today, we're really not having to move the bait very much. It's just sitting on the bottom, and we're waiting for the fish to come through. This is the only time this year when we've had an opportunity to fish without the current and a 25-mile-an-hour wind. And it is the very end of December, so it was very cold this morning. But now we've had to shed our coats, and I'm going to have to come out of these waders pretty quick because that sun's out and it's supposed to be 65 today. But again, overall the Carolina rig is the very finest rig for trout. You can catch trout anywhere in the world on a Carolina rig when you use your power rig. Boom, there's one. You got to watch these crazy fish. Instead of hitting it where you can feel it, they'll come up behind the egg and move upstream where we are. And what happens is, you miss a lot of the fish, but the bad part about it is, the fish, this is a small trout obviously, the fish will swallow the bait. So instead of pulling that out of him, what we'll do is we'll cut the line very close to his mouth and turn him loose, and then that way he has an opportunity to live.